This is Royal Academy, Unit 1, Part 3. We are going to see in this video. See, this is the agenda of this class. And first one is characteristic of good learners. Good learners are persistent. The process of development of good learners is continuous and gradual. This is the point number 1. Point number 2, they know how to make use of their knowledge. That is, how it can be used to solve real life problems. So, we are learning in the sense that should be utilized in our life, that how to solve the real problems arise in our life. Third point, they share their knowledge with others and do not restrict to just themselves. They know very well that knowledge increases by sharing. Fourth point, they are free from the negative emotions. So, what are the negative emotions? The anger, jealousy, greed, and so on. And fifth point, if you see the good learners, they are always curious to learn about something they do not know. They are always in search of new knowledge. This is the fifth characteristics of a good learner. And sixth one, what is the sixth point? They always find time for reading, analyzing, and evaluating the informations they have gathered. And seventh point, they enjoy learning and don't dishearten over the hardships while arise in the journey of learning. See, in our life, we have to face so many barriers. So, how to overcome it through learning, we get it. And eighth point, they have a lot of questions. They seek to learn new things while finding answers to their questions. As said by the Langer, if we would have new knowledge, we must get a whole world of new questions. So, getting answers also leads to answer another set of questions and learning continues. And what's the ninth point? See here, this is very beautiful. They have the ability to associate new knowledge with what they know already. The knowledge base is updated continuously. So, these are the 9 characteristics of a good learner. Now, see, what is learning? Learning is a natural process of growth or change in an individual which is manifested as new moods or patterns of behavior. So, continuous learning makes a man, and there is a drastic change in his behavior. So, learning means changing in behavior. Now, this change shows itself as a skill, a habit, an attitude, an understanding, or as knowledge or an appreciation. Okay. Now, it's a relatively permanent change in behavior and is the result of reinforced practice through the process of stimulus and response. Now, let us see the behavior principles of learning. So, in this learning, there are 2 factors which is very, very important. One is stimuli and another one is response. It is S and this is R. Now, see, in this behavior, there are 3 laws. And first one is the law of effect. Second one, the law of readiness. Third one, the law of exercise. What is the law of effect? Here, the importance, this stresses the importance of the effect of a response. See, if a teacher is teaching, the response is good, the result will be good. If the response is not that much, the result also very less. So, the law of effect stresses the importance of the effect of a response. Now, how this response will increase in the sense, the law of readiness is explaining. If a child is ready to listen the class, then his result is good. Now, if the child is ready to listen the class and he is doing all his works, then this SR connection is very, very strong. So, this will be explained by the law of exercise. What is this? Teacher is giving a homework, the child is going home and practicing again and again, and he easily understand the concept what the teacher taught in the classroom. So, this SR connection is now becoming very, very strong. So these three are interconnected. First one is the law of effect, second one is the law of readiness, third one the law of exercise. Here the teacher is teaching, the child has to be ready to listen, and in the home he has to exercise it. Then this SR connection will be more strong. Now here, the Skinner theory of operant conditioning emphasizes stimulus, response behavior and reinforcement. What is this we are going to see in this class? This is here 5 points you have to keep in mind. First one, the learning is a change in the likelihood. The operant conditioning is learning force. Then the most important principle of this type of learning is that behavior changes according to its immediate consequences. Okay, if he receive any reward, then his behavior changes. Now, pleasurable consequences. Pleasurable in the sense, if he receives any award, that behavior will be strengthened. If he receive any punishment, that behavior will be weakened. Okay, that we are going to see in an experiment which is given by the Skinner. Now, in operant conditioning, learning objectives are divided into many small steps, tasks and reinforced one by one for teaching purpose. Okay, so if the teacher, if she is or he is teaching, he has to be very careful about the learning objectives, and he has to divide that into many small steps, and he has to explain to the children. See here, the Skinner is having two reinforcement, one is positive and one is negative. So what is positive, what is negative, we are going to see. For that he has made one container and he put a hunger rat in it. What is this container? Let us see now. See, this container is having a grid. Can you see the blue color one? That is electric grid. And this is a lever, there is a red button, there is a green button, and this is a food container. So he put a hunger rat inside this one. This rat is roaming here and there, and at last accidentally it touches the lever. So when it touches the lever, it receives a food material. And by trying again and again, accidentally it touches the lever, it is receiving a food. So it learned how to touch the lever. So if it touches the lever, the food is coming. So this is a reward for the rat. So it is doing again and again, and it is getting this one. And next one is the negative reinforcement. Before going to the negative reinforcement, how a teacher can use this, we can see. See, if a teacher is giving a homework or any work to the child is doing, in the sense, immediately she is giving a chocolate to the child. Okay, that is a reward for the child. Now, if a child is repeating this again and again, she is giving the chocolate. So the child is knowing that if he is doing his homework regularly, he gets a chocolate. Okay, this is a positive reinforcement. Now let us see what is negative reinforcement. What is negative reinforcement? What is happening inside here? We can see. See, I shown you in the cage, there is a grid, isn't it? Electric grid. So this rat is continuously getting the electric shock. So it is running inside the cage and accidentally touches the lever. So the current will be put out. So again when it comes, when the current passes inside, it runs near the lever and it put the lever. So slowly it learns how to put out the lever. And again, secondly, the Skinner, what he has done is, there is a red button, and he just switch on the red button to alert the rat to switch off the lever. So when the red button glows, the rat knows now the electric shock will come. So it runs towards the lever and put out the lever to escape from the electric current. So this is what is given here, a punishment. Okay, if it did not switch it off, it will get the electric shock. So like that, this principle will be used by the teachers to make the students to do the homework. If the homework is not done by the children, then the teacher should punish the child. So continuously, if he is giving, this character will be deleted from the child. That is, if he does not do the homework, he will get the punishment. So clear? So this is negative reinforcement given by the Skinner. Now, the cognitive approach. What is cognitive approach? The cognitive approach to education relates to promoting the retention of knowledge acquired through learning. So how to retain the learning, how to retain the knowledge when we learn in a longer time in our brain. So what we have to do while learning, we have to understand and learning. So this understanding helps us to spread mentally the information we store in our memory and create new cognitive structures to efficiently use long term memory. So if you understand and study, that will be in our memory for a long term. Okay, that is what cognitive approach. The cognitive approach emphasizes that teaching material should be planned on the basis of theory of discovery. It stresses problem oriented learning. So how this cognitive approach should be? Problem oriented learning it should be. Then fourth point what we are seeing here is the approach emphasizes appropriate decisions regarding the instructional objectives, analysis, prerequisite behavior and teaching methods. Now, Gagney's theory of learning emphasizes that learning is a change in human disposition or capability. According to this theory, learning is a process that takes place inside an individual's brain. The most important aspect of learner in his sense, his central nervous system and his muscles. The learner can learn best when information is presented in logical sequence consisting of short unit with a clear framework. Now what Gagney is trying to say here, see there are 8 steps in Gagney's theory of learning. The first one is signal learning, second one stimulus response, third one chaining, verbal association and discrimination learning, concept learning, rule learning, problem solving. Okay, so all these 8 points we have to keep in mind. The first one is signal learning, second one stimulus response, third one chaining, fourth one verbal association, fifth one discrimination, sixth one concept learning, seventh one rule learning, eighth one problem solving. Now let us see the first 3 one here. What you are seeing, a bell, a dog with a plate and a boy is playing a flute, right? Now first one, signal learning. What is signal learning? Signal learning, a bell is ringing. This is a signal. Now, who is learning? The dog is learning. What he learnt in the sense, if the bell rings, he knows he is going to get the food material. So what he is doing, he is taking a plate and keeping it ready for the food. Okay. Now see. The third one, if you are seeing, this is chaining. What is chaining? See, playing a flute is not so easy. So he has to learn step by step, and first class, second class, third class. So at least 8 classes he has to go to learn the flute. Okay. So by chaining all those things, he is now ready to play the flute in a proper way. And now here, first I told you what is signal learning. This bell is a signal, stimulus. The bell ringing is a stimulus to the dog, and the dog is responding by taking the plate and it is ready for to receive the food material. And chaining, clear, it is playing a flute. Now see, verbal association, discrimination learning. Here we can see what is verbal association. What we learned, we have to be aligned and we have to associate it to write. Okay, first we learn to write the words, then it has to be built as a sentence, then as a paragraph, then as an essay. Okay, and here reading also like that. So first we have to learn how to read a word, then a sentence, how to make a sentence, and how to understand the sentence and how to make it. Okay. And now discrimination. What is discrimination? Differentiation. They have to be able to differentiate what is 6 and what is 5 and what is this sign and what is the negative sign, what is the positive sign, what is the multiplication sign. So that is called as discrimination learning. Now see, what is concept learning? Concept learning in the sense, see, he has to repair this in the sense, first he has to know what are the parts in that, and what is the thing. Okay, and how to operate this one, he has to read the rules of this. Okay, what he has to do, and the monitor, how to use the keyboard, everything he has to read first. And Problem solving. See, he is a doctor. What he is doing, he is observing the x-ray and he is analyzing what is the problem for this person. So after analyzing it, he is ready to give the solution or ready to solve his problem. Okay, so this is Gagney's theory of learning. So in the life, organism learns, any organism or human being learn by step. This is the basic step, and slowly it grows, and when organism grows or the man grows, he learn how to solve the problems arising in his life. This is what Gagney's theory of learning. Now the broad education implications of Gagney's theory. First one is prerequisite behavior. Gagney advocated those processes of learning that move from simple to complex. Okay, that is what we have seen in the last thing. Now, the learner has to develop prerequisite capabilities before acquiring new terminal behavior. Okay. Thus, the use of hierarchy of learning and task analysis is an integral part of instructional activities. Second one, learner's characteristics. The learner's individual differences, readiness, motivation to learn are very important issues while learning. Now, cognitive process and instruction. Transfer of learning and student skill of problem solving are integral parts of internal conditions of learning applicable to the instruction. The skill of learning how to learn should be developed in the learner. The emphasis should be on the individual of the learner. So, these are the three main points which is education implications of Gagney's theory of learning. Okay, now see. So thank you very much. This is Royal Academy. This is the phone number. If you want to join in the class, you can call this number and you can join. Thank you.